Kadiaba, together with her 4 children and husband, live in Abuadze in the Western region. As a first-time mother and wife, Akushika moved in with her husband in 2008, leaving behind a good-paying job with a Canadian firm. After several failed efforts to find a job and the growing pressures of motherhood, Akushika resorted to be a housewife.
I completed UCC and then got married. And I was working actually in Accra with a Canadian firm as their I started as a service personnel, then moved to become the administrator, then the acting country director. But you are married. Your husband is in Takrady and you are in Tema.
This, however, did not keep her idle as she tried her hands on many products.
I started with few things before.
Like?
I started selling diapers. I've sold diapers, I've sold pepper in a container. No, the real grounded pepper, yes.
After several tries, she eventually found her niche, ice cream and juices.
I was like, I really need something that I'll call my own, something that I'll build up. The ice cream that my other neighbor was taking to sell also came in, and I was like, well, since somebody has taken it from you, let me do something that they would rather come to me for than me going to take from somewhere to come and buy. I need to own it. It's my property, my everything. It is mine.
Yesli Ice produces ice cream and fruit juices made from organic fruits and with low sugar content. With some plywood, Akushika has managed to convert her porch into a working area where she produces her ice cream, and her kitchen, the factory for her juices. Just 4 years in business, and Yesli Ice is already chalking success and gaining popularity in the business community. It was awarded the Future Company of 2018 in the Ghana Club 100 Awards, a milestone that even Akushika says she was surprised to have chalked.
When it comes to something like voting and all that, I wasn't too sure I was going to even get a quota of whatever votes.
I saw the video and you looked shocked when you walked up stage.
I was shocked. I was because I wasn't expecting it, in actual fact. Yes, I know that I've been working very hard to get to where we are today, but to get that award, in fact, I was surprised.
Despite some challenges with competing markets in her initial months of business, Akushika did not give up on her dream of moving her business forward. She believes that many are yet to appreciate and understand entrepreneurship. She shares her experience on how some people look down on her for not sticking to the status quo of working in the corporate world as a partly qualified accountant.
People refer to me as a lazy housewife who is not ready to do anything. Some even walk to me to advise me that they have Ideal College Remedial School just at the junction where you branched off. So if I can go there and how do I say it, do remedials, because me sitting at home and me always selling to them is becoming a nuisance. And I was like, whoa, okay. This is my madam of the house. She's Esinam. So she's the S in Yesli.
Akushika did not only depend on her children's names to coin the name of her business, Yesli Ice, but also depends on them for support and motivation to run her business. She calls her family her #1 support system.
At times I have to do the production with the whole family. If he's cutting the label, at times he'll be fetching and I'll be doing the sealing and then the packing in the fridge. The firstborn is trying to do the cutting of the labeling. The secondborn is marking the expiring and production dates. And then the third one tries to be picking the cup for the labeling. And also the last one, hers is to bring cup. She wants ice cream.
She wants ice cream. For now, Yesley Ice is able to produce 500 cups in a day with a simple machine which only processes the liquid mixture into ice cream.
Everything about this manner you have to fetch. It doesn't automatically fetch and seal. So you have to allow it to end. Whilst fetching, you wait for some time before you fetch another batch. So like you can fetch about 15 cups after 15 minutes when it is well prepared. Then after the first fetch of 15 cups, you wait for like some 5 minutes, then you fetch another 15 cups again.
However, this will soon change as Apple intends to expand their business with growing demand.
We have to. With it.
I'm good. Yeah. So where do you see Yesley Ice, let's say, in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I'm hoping and working towards it actually that in the next 5 years we should be all over Ghana and beyond. And we should have more so far I would say we have the ice cream, we have 3, and then the drinks 4. Okay. But we are, from next year, we are just giving ourselves up to March. We will do some product launching, which will wow the whole Ghana.
Wow.
To do actually, because yes, you will. Yes, you know, we are actually 3 that works here, but 1 is on maternity leave.
After some cups of ice cream and some fun with the family, it was time to say goodbye.
Thank you.
So you have a safe journey.
You too. Thank you. Okay, so we just heard the story of Akushika and how Yesley started for her. But the trip doesn't end here. We're going to see another female entrepreneur breaking grounds in her business. I'll tell you what she does. Just follow me and see the rest of the story.
My next stop is Kanserodo, an urban slum community some 5 kilometers away from Abuadze. I'm going to meet Ruth Medufia, a 27-year-old welder breaking grounds and making it in the male-dominated construction industry.
14 and a half and 15. 14
and a half. Ruth is presently assisting her former master and trainer at her shop as she prepares to move into her own shop soon. With a WASI certificate, her parents were hoping she would further her education to one day become a journalist. After her father was laid off from work some 5 years ago, she was forced to find a job as one of the eldest of 7 children. It is then that she was pushed to explore her childhood dreams of becoming a welder.
I'll come forward and ask about it. The master say, "Oh no, Babia, why am I fabricated anti ultimate training me? And Tebia Crasuna, ye did in a hobeji, Yamiadum or farming."
Young, passionate, and focused on her job, Ruth Medufia is ready to go all lengths to become a master in her profession. However, the story has not been so easy for Ruth, as her family tried to prevent her from becoming a welder, all because of the strenuous nature of the profession, which they believe was meant for men only.
welding so yeah, it may be a manager because straight materials and I say you can and this straight na ni petuka am an measurement as a designing to the certain way beautify your environment and you may be a manager due to that and now they are obey me I desire beautify infinity.
Ruth loves her work so much that she had to sneak out of home one day to even go to the shop.
So they locked me the other day in the room. I need to pass through the windows when they realize I'm at work. Due to the passion I have for the job, I can't leave it.
Now a proud owner of a half plot of land and a container proposed for her shop, Ruth is happy to have followed her passion to accomplish her dreams.
Since I was a child, I told myself that I'll not work for somebody, I'll work for myself. So that motivated me more. But after learning this job, I can open my own shop, then train some people too. And then, meaning my dream has come to pass. So, almost say 3 years, it's like you are going to school. Who go school 3 years, 3 years. At long last, maybe SHS 3 years, you complete 3 years, but you not get even a job to do. Because after SHS, I read so many applications, none of them even replied one.
This has all been possible thanks to the Youth Inclusive Entrepreneurial Development Initiative for Employment (YEDIE) project, a MasterCard Foundation initiative implemented by global communities. This even led to a discovery by the international media house, the BBC.
The MasterCard Foundation, YEDIE as a team, I say God bless them a lot. If not them, I won't be who I am today.
Curious, I asked Ruth if she's teased by peers about her work making her masculine.
The way I am, I'm not easily to be just
manipulated.
I'm very difficult. They used to say I'm difficult, but I don't see that I'm difficult. I just set a boundary. You can't climb that boundary to that extent. Oh, not really. They are not. And they are not afraid of me.
So there's a boyfriend?
Yes, I have a boyfriend.
Now breaking down barriers in this male-dominated industry, Ruth is ready to assist and train many young women willing to be like her.
Next 5 years, I buy a in the Cameroon factory. Oh, like seriously, if I get the help, I'm willing to help others. About 30 years to come, it's ours 10 to rule the nation. That if a lady comes, it doesn't attract any amount. I'm going to teach her for free.
For this young trailblazer, she says the sky will never be the limit.
It's my dream to be on top. As I said, it's my dream to be the biggest female metal fabricator in Ghana and beyond. So I'm seeing to that. I'll climb up today. It boosts me energy.
For young people looking up to her, Ruth had this to tell them. Karen Dodo reporting for Joy Business.
They should just focus on the work. Marriage, if you get married, you can enjoy life on top of anything. But when you are into something, you need to conclude, finish what you are doing. After that, you can do whatever you want to do. So that's the advice that I give to them. They should stay in their field. They should conclude what they have started. They should finish. And it's not easy. It's not easy. Everything is not easy. It's not easy for them.
There are so many women out there, but at least from these two, I hope you take an inspiration and break grounds and break walls and do what you really want to achieve. So reporting from Kansarodo in the Western region, I am Karen Dodo for Joy Business.
It's been a year since Ivy started coffee production. The young entrepreneur ventured into this after her clothing export business to Turkey failed.
I'm somebody who speaks a lot about my problems, issues. Like if I have a problem, if I have a question, if I meet anybody for the first conversation, first 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I ask, do you know this? Because I like to learn every day. So I kept asking a few people, and then someone told me, yes, Ghana has coffee. Why don't you trade in that with the people? Because they drink coffee there. That's their, culture. Every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, after every meeting, after every food, they are either drinking their tea or coffee.
Viga Ivy latched onto the idea and began her research into Ghana's coffee industry. Ghana produces the less popular type of coffee known as Robusta. However, production has been on the decline because not much attention is paid to the sector. Ivy started by exporting the raw beans, but later realized she could add value. So we're ready for production, Ivy. Tell me what we are going to do.
Okay, we just weighed 2 kilograms of coffee green beans, and then we put it in the machine. The machine is hot now, so the temperature is right for us to begin the roast process. And we're about to roast light roast. That's our first roast. So. And
then the other one is?
Medium.
How does it taste? Different?
Yeah, it tastes different because the light roast doesn't have a lot of bitterness, but the medium has a little, and then the dark has more.
All right, let's get to work then.
Okay then. So here we go.
With the processing equipment in hand and thanks to Google, Ivy was in business. The coffee beans go through roasting, then grinding, and then capping to ensure the taste is on point. I get to do the light roast coffee capping with Ivy.
So a newbie in coffee would actually enjoy this, I think. You are a newbie, so let's see about you.
Okay, but this is actually very hot, is it?
I know, but that's how coffee goes in.
Okay, she's making me laugh. Okay. So this is actually sweet. I mean, I can take it without sugar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's more of tea.
All right.
So those tea drinkers would easily have this light roast.
We are okay with the taste. Next, we package. Production seems kind of fun, but I guess it can be challenging at times, right?
Yeah, it's actually challenging.
What are some of the challenges you face?
The machines actually need like very steady power, and sometimes when there's lights off, I can't do anything about it. I have to like stop production, and also when the power is not stable, I have a problem with my roaster because the roaster actually consumes a lot of energy, and also because of the temperature rising and falling, it can trigger the machine to go off, and then you don't get the beans out.
But it's been largely positive for Ivy. She currently stocks some supermarkets with her products, takes orders both home and abroad. Though Ghana is not a typical coffee drinking country, she's optimistic the market would grow.
I know it's difficult actually to invest in something that you're not too sure about, but I took a gamble, and I'm glad I did, because I'm helping a lot, from down to the farmers, down to my purchasing guy from the village, down to educating people every day on the right way to drink coffee that is freshly brewed. If you don't even purchase from me, but drink coffee the right way, that is just get a plunger or get a brewer, and then get fresh grounded coffee, and then brew it to drink. But I know that typically we don't like to actually take risks. Typically we don't like to actually invest in something that is already dying. But I think with a little bit of work, we'll get it started.
Ivy's goal is to make Café Magnifico one of the top international coffee brands. Well, usually guys will do this over a bottle of beer, but we'll do it over a cup of coffee. Brazil or Costa Rica?
Costa Rica, because they are in white, and everybody else is supporting Brazil. So I'm always on the positive.
All right, let's see who wins then. And no, Brazil won that game. Come with me. Irabna Jiman and Anwoko Naikwade are co-founders of what is arguably Ghana's most popular fashion brand. It started 5 years ago when the two best friends decided to follow what they were really in love with, making clothing.
I was a banker. KK was in the telco industry. At some point, she left her job, went to fashion school, and I had also started making clothes for my colleagues and friends, and had really fallen in love with this thing. And so for me, I had gone to an interview with a bigger bank, gotten the job. It was going to be a lot of money, and realized that I was still not very happy on the inside. And so I realized that, okay, banking wasn't the thing for me. So on November 15th, 2013, we came together and launched.
November, that makes it
5. We turned 5 last Thursday. Thank you.
They didn't exactly have a plan, but were determined to build a global brand. So when they launched on 15 November 2013, they knew they were in for a ride. After making bespoke outfits for a while, and to mark their first anniversary, Irabna and Anwoko were looking for something else that would enable them scale. That inspired the new design, Gigi.
The original design was from her. It came from where? Exactly.
We were broke. We were very, very broke, and we're trying to put together this event. And so we had very little money for fabric, and we had to put things together. And yet, still in that space, we were thinking,
it has to be creative.
It has to be a creative thing.
That was just the breakthrough the entrepreneurs needed. The craze for their first retail collection, Gigi, spread like wildfire, if you like. Smart casual, multifunctional, the beautifully designed fabric with a fusion of African print is worn by both men and women. All these produced from home. What's remarkable is that where Ghana has employed only women, the co-founders say they want to use fashion as a tool to level the playing field when it comes to employment for women. Now, let's talk about the 5-year journey.
In the beginning, things like, why are employees leaving?
Yeah.
And then you come to realize, because you've been employing wrong, because you've not been employing people who believe in your why. And then you get to points where, well, you're cash-strapped.
Yeah.
Or that the revenue targets that you had set, you hadn't hit. All sorts of things. Or that this one customer that we can't please.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or this one design that wasn't working, especially when we're doing the bespoke.
It was all over the place.
So yeah, and sometimes really frustrated with each other.
Our relationship.
Really frustrated, like what?
Over the 5 years, the ladies have expanded their reach, supplying thousands of the Gigi outfit to various parts of the country and abroad. Today, there is even World Gigi Day.
I think that there's this intangible thing where there's really a lot of love for our brand, and we don't take it for granted at all. These are the things you can't buy. Like, you can spend a lot of money marketing. If people don't accept the brand and become ambassadors, and that's what we've gotten. We've gotten customers who have been with us and become brand ambassadors for us, and they go out there and speak for us. There was a time when someone had copied the Gigi and worn it on TV, and social media was on fire because our customers were upset. on our behalf. And these are things that you really can buy. You can try and orchestrate them. The thing that we are trying to do is to learn why it works so that we can replicate it in other markets as well.
Already making a mark globally, the ladies aim to rival major international brands and make Gigi the world's next big design.
Currently, we know that Africans are not too happy wearing their own. We want to change that. Hopefully, we
patronizing products made in, let's talk for Ghana at least. It's been a journey trying to crack that thing. So we want to get to the point where when you hear that something was made here, that is quality you think of. If you heard that something was made in Germany, it's become a brand. Made in Germany, it's a brand.
Like, wow.
That's what we want to do with our clothing, to the point where when you hear made in Ghana, it's like
I can go and buy that.
Exactly.
And it will be good.
5 years and the co-founders of Wear Ghana only just started.